Chapter 5, in Waco. Remember to like, share, and subscribe! You stand frozen in fear, while behind you, Charles has caught you in the act of snooping in his bedroom. Faith, I asked you a question. You gulp, then turn around, slowly lift your head to face him. Hey, Charles, is dinner ready? He steps forward to within inches of your body. Your heart pounds rapidly as his gaze sears into yours. Caught red-handed. He places his arm against the wall beside your head, and a smolder comes to his eyes. You're vividly aware of his body heat. Is there a reason you're in my bedroom? I made a wrong turn. Excuses won't work. I need to steer his attention in another direction. I'll whisper seductively. You tip your head up so that your lips brush against his earlobe and feel him shiver as you whisper, I was hoping you'd find me. I didn't realize we were playing a game of hide and seek. Games keep things interesting. Now that you found me, I'd imagine you don't want me to leave. His eyes slowly rove over your body, pressed against the wall before him. He swallows heavily, and you know your distraction is working. From the way you're looking at me, I'm guessing this very moment has been on your mind for days. I won't deny it's exciting to find you in my room, but I'm just curious about something. What's that? His hand slides up to your hip, to your waist, holding you to him as he murmurs in your ear. When you realized you weren't in the bathroom, what provoked you to stay? You hear the growl in his voice and realize his suspicions are warring with his lust, but you can tip the scales the rest of the way. Kiss me now. You make your voice breathy as you look into his eyes. I stayed because I was waiting for you. You put your hands around his waist and thrust him closer to you, your hips now pressed against each other. And now that you found me, I don't want you to leave. He lowers his gaze to your lips and your heart races, hoping for multiple reasons that he'll take the bait. You make it hard to think straight when I'm around you. What about what you do to me? Being this close to you, it feels dangerous. He cocks his head back ever so slightly, raising a brow, his sultry grin making your pulse quicken. Dangerous in a good way or a bad way? You dab in as you're aware of how trapped you still are between him and the wall. You roll your hips forward against him. To be determined. You gasp as he throws all his weight forward, pinning you completely. Charles. You feel him vividly against your center, the size of his desire making you weak in the knees. Now I have you where I want you. You revel in the thrill as he brings his lips to your ear, the heat of him making it hard to think. But I'll admit, I didn't plan for this. You exhale, aware of how vulnerable you are in this position, but to your surprise it only excites you more. You roll your hips forward, groaning as you grind into him, imagining it throbbing against you. He pulls back, only far enough to drop his eyes to your mouth, his voice deepening to a growl. So do tell, if you were waiting for me, what were you hoping I'd do when I found you? Arousal rushes through your body and your head clears a fraction as you realize he's put the ball back in your court. What if I said I wanted you to kiss me? He opens his mouth, his little tongue tracing his upper lip, like he's thinking about exactly how he's going to devour you. I think that can be arranged. Do it. You don't have to order him again, his hands grabbing your waist. He claims your lips with his own, making you gasp in delight. His lips caress yours, and a jolt of arousal goes straight to your core as his tongue slides haughtily against yours. You squeeze your thighs together, feeling the slickness gathering as he kisses you senseless. When he pulls back, you blink dazedly for a few seconds before smirking, still tasting him. Wow. Is that what you were imagining? It was, but I wasn't imagining you stopping. You pull him back in for another kiss, but this time you take control, and judging by his deep groan, he likes it. Your mouth opens wider, inviting his tongue deeper as your lips press more fervently than before. You hike a leg around his hip, desperate to get your aching core closer to him in any way possible. His hands start wandering, rough palms skimming up your sides. His pupils are dilated, clearly ravenous for you. Yes. No longer sure if you're seducing him or giving in to your desires, you place your hands where you've been dreaming of for days. Oh boy, time to skip this. Didn't last long. We made sure to close the door, not get caught, and this is when the doorbell rang. When suddenly the doorbell rings, Charles's fingers still inches from their mark, and a disappointed look clouds his features. How inconvenient. How convenient for the rest of us. Charles, they'll go away. He quirks an eyebrow at your breathy plea, a smirk curling at the corner of his lips. And if they don't? The gasp is just his fingertips brush against you. Barely there, sensation enough to make your entire body jolt. Oh god, then they can listen. As much as I would love that. The doorbell rings again, and you see Charles visibly school his arousal as he takes a step back. I don't want to subject you to the rumors and gossip that would surely elicit along the street. The doorbell continues to ring, clears your head enough to recognize the validity in his words. Yeah, you have a good point. The two of you straighten yourselves out as the doorbell sounds again and again. Then Charles takes your waist and guides you out of his bedroom. Just a minute. Charles has barely cracked the door open when in walks Sadie. God help us, placing a platter covered in aluminum foil in his arms. A little birdie told me you've had a sleepover tonight. I couldn't bear the thought of you all. She sees you standing by the staircase and silently scoffs before refocusing her attention on Charles. I know how much you love my chicken enchiladas. I thought we could have dinner together, but I see you have other plans. Actually, Charles and I have dinner covered. A quaint dinner for two. How rude of me to interrupt. If you'd like to take your enchiladas back. Nonsense. Enchiladas are freezer friendly. Charles, just pop them in the oven at 350 whenever you get the craving for a little something Sadie. Faith, I'm glad you've found a way to fill your night so quickly. I mean, it feels like you only moved in yesterday. I don't think how I spend my time is any of your... no need to get so worked up, sweetie. I wasn't implying whatever you thought I was. And while I have you two here, you should know that Valerie's wake has been arranged for tomorrow. She puts on an affectionate hand on Charles' shoulder. I'll text you the details. Toodles! She waves goodbye and saunters out. An extra swing in her hips that Charles ignores as he turns a troubled expression on you. Where were we? He wants to continue dinner, but after what I found in his room and being reminded of Valerie's death, I just can't. I have to bail on dinner, hearing about Valerie's wake. I'm sorry. I need to go home and make sure I have something to wear. Charles sets her platter down on a nearby table and, to your surprise, offers a sympathetic frown. You've gone through so much. I know paying your respects is important to you. Shouldn't he be confronting me about snooping through his bedroom? We'll try another night. Maybe he's just innocent enough to think you were actually trying to seduce him. I don't know. He gives you a tender peck on the forehead and opens the front door for you. You do your best to smile as you walk out. Have a good night. It's later that night. You lie in your bed, restlessly tossing and turning as you ponder the meaning behind the medication bottle. Side effect, heart attack. This woman has never heard of pharmaceuticals ever in her entire life. I don't get it. Did Charles make his wife OD to give her a heart attack? Why would he keep the evidence lying around? You look over at your window, a dim streak of light coming from a street lamp peeks through the curtains. Why are you so damn confusing? You turn over to your side, your mind drifts, reliving the moment Charles pinned you against his wall. You can still feel his hands exploring your body, his mouth devouring every inch. You really do make being bad feel so good. The memory sends a tantalizing chill through you. Your hands slip between your thighs as you imagine him crawling into bed with you. Oh, Lord. Hi, gorgeous. Hey. He buries his head in your neck and nibbles sensually. Heat quickly rising, you guide his lips. His lips hit yours. He kisses you with a deep, possessive growl that has you moaning in his mouth. I want you, Charles, like I've never wanted anyone before. Suddenly, your phone dings with a text. Your eyes pop open, abruptly shaking you from your fantasy as you grab your phone. I don't want you to go to Valerie's wake alone. I'll pick you up first thing in the morning. Sweet dreams. I was having some, but your text interrupted them. You hold the phone close to your chest, curl up under the covers, and close your eyes. Sweet dreams. The next morning. You finish zipping up your somber black dress and then glance at the clock and sigh. Charles is going to be here any minute, and these butterflies in my stomach make me feel like I'm a vomit. He might be a killer, and I slept with my phone under my pillow all night just in case he texted me something romantic. Hey, people have been, writing letters to known killers in prison for years. You wouldn't be the first to pine over one. Realizing that you're pacing, you quickly halt and begin to justify your feelings to your own reflection in the mirror. Okay, I know the pill bottle looks bad, but no one's given a concrete motive as to why Charles would want his wife or Valerie dead. And God, the way he looked at me last night, the only way he touched me. Within seconds, you're back to being in his kitchen. He's looking you over ardently as he leans in to murmur against your lips. I invited you here tonight for a reason. I want to make this dinner about us. The doorbell rings and you gasp with surprise. Fanning at your face, you let out a deep exhale to calm your system. Coming! Go downstairs and reach your front door, butterfly swirling in your stomach. Knowing it's Charles, you decide to have a little fun. Who is it? It's your sexy neighbor. I don't think I have any of those. My mistake. I guess I'll go check and see if Sadie needs a ride. Ooh. Ouch. You swing open the door to find Charles looking GQ worthy in a navy suit. The carpenter cleans up nice. That Sadie line was not cool. He looks good. Well, let's focus on him. Carpenter cleans up nice. I don't even hold a candle to you. The carpenter knows how to sweet talk, too. Did you know the carpenter also has a name? I wish I was here to escort you to a more joyous occasion. Right, Valerie. You instantly flash back to finding the medication bottle in his nightstand, and your stomach twists as he extends his hand out. Are you ready to head out? Take his hand. Let's go. He smiles affectionately and gives your hand a firm squeeze as the two of you walk off together. A few minutes later, you and Charles arrive at the front lawn of Oak Valley's mayor, and your mouth flies open. The wake is here. At the mayor's house? It's Valerie's home, too. Inside, you immediately take note of how grand her home is, but your admiration is overtaken by the nervous guilt in your gut. The woman died in my home, and now I'm saying goodbye in hers. All of Vermillion Lane is there to pay their respects and take advantage of the free coffee and pastries. Charles's hand touches the small of your bag. There's someone you should meet. Mayor Wright. I want to introduce you to Faith Constance. She recently moved to Vermillion Lane. Faith, yes, I know exactly who you are. Mayor, I am so sorry for your loss. Valerie was such a... You stop realizing you don't have anything positive to add. I can only imagine what you and your family are going through. Oh, I'm fine, young woman. What? You quickly notice the mayor's attention is fixated on something happening on the other end of the room. If you'll excuse me. As you turn to watch him leave, you accidentally bump into Valerie's framed memorial photo displayed on a wooden easel. Valerie's image stares back at you, and you can't help recalling the look on her face as she clutched her chest in pain. I'm so sorry. Everything okay? His whisper hits your ear as he loops a comforting arm around your waist. You lean into him, feeling yourself calm in a steady hold. It's just... But that's when you notice the shifty glances everyone in the room is sending your way. You catch snippets of their whispered conversations. How dare he show his face here and bring the new girl as his date? She clearly has no idea what he's capable of. Once again, unable to shake off everyone's suspicion of Charles, you mumble a response. People are staring. Charles casts a sharp gaze around the room and everyone immediately looks away. He tightens his hold on you. Don't worry about everyone else. Whatever they're gossiping about, they should be ashamed of doing it during your wake. But as glances continue shooting your way, you find being so close to him overwhelming and wriggle out of his grasp. I need to find a bathroom. Get towards the nearest hallway, only to notice Mayor Wright having an intense conversation with someone behind a column. Something about that man seems off. You realize the person he's talking to is a woman, right as he takes her hand and they slip down the hallway. While he's lover. We can't talk about this here. Oh my god, it's Sadie. You follow quietly behind them, your eyes go wide as they continue their tense conversation, oblivious to your presence. Why have you been avoiding me? We were supposed to take care of Allie's issue a week ago. If you must know, I was getting my fillers done, but we obviously don't have anything to worry about anymore. The woman's dead. You have a point. Do you think things are still going as planned? Going as planned makes it sound like Valerie's death was their idea. You practically are salivating, desperate to hear more, but they sneak their way into another room and slam the door shut. No! How am I gonna find out what this plan is now? Uncover their secrets! Look down both ends of the hallway to make sure the coast is clear, then press your ear to the door Sadie and the mayor just shut. An expression of horror hits your face when you hear the sounds of loud moaning filter through, giving you a vivid image of what's happening. Mr. Mayor, it's so big. Take it like a good girl. You back several paces away from the door in horror. Oh my god. They're totally doing it on the day of his wife's wake. Just then a gentleman turns down the hall, spotting you. He begins striding out. Excuse me, have you seen Mayor Wright? He's needed in the living room. To be honest, I believe Mayor Wright is a bit preoccupied at the moment. A particularly loud male cry comes from behind the door, and the man looks a little sick as an understanding dawns on him. Oh, I see. I'll just go. The gentleman leaves. You carefully press your ear back against the door. Please be done, please be done. You listen in, thankful for Mayor Wright's non-existent stamina as the couple is now engaged in a version of pillow talk. I hate that you keep bringing up Valerie as some big problem. I did my part every step of the way while she was alive. You need to keep playing your part. Valerie was gaining popularity in this town. I helped her become the HOA president so she'd have something to do. I never thought people would start calling for her to run for mayor against her own husband. Valerie for mayor? She'd make a better mayor than him. Compared to this cheating jerk, Valerie would have been an upgrade. And I can barely believe I'm even saying that. Please. She was never actually gonna win. Not the point. Each time the press brought it up, I had to pretend it was to be a friendly husband and wife election race. And nothing came of it. I made sure Valerie never took the notion seriously, just like you asked. And considering I did just that, I expect your support when I put my own plan in motion. And what plan would that be? Suddenly a hand closes around your wrist and pulls you away from the door. Your stomach sinks at Charles' stormy expression. We need to talk. He pulls you into an empty room and your mind is just beginning to catch up when he lets you go and spins around. Faith, I need to know what's going on. You've been acting so weird around me, like I make you uncomfortable. You realize the look on his face is genuine hurt, a sight you can hardly bear. Your heart squeezes as he continues, voice cracking. I know you didn't just get lost on your way to the bathroom last night. I found you digging around in my bedroom. Talk to me, please. I can't just take this uneasiness between us. Charles, there are rumors about you. Some of your neighbors, including Sadie, are saying you killed your wife and Valerie. Don't tell me you believe them. I don't want to believe them, but you had the heart medication in your nightstand. The label warns it could cause heart attacks. The same way Valerie died, and the same way everyone else says your wife died. You see the moment his heart breaks in two. He slowly slinks onto the plush sofa, and after a long pause, looks up at your face. Those pills help my wife with her anxiety. That's one of the other side effects. I've had a hell of a lot of anxiety myself since the neighborhood started the rumor about me killing my wife, the woman I loved. I've been taking them occasionally. You don't know what it's like to lose a spouse and then have everyone in your life judge your grief. Charles, why did you bottle all this up? You could have told me before the street tried to sway me with the rumors. You have been in the neighborhood all of like 2 minutes. I was terrified I'd scare you away. Thank you for clearing things up. That's all I needed to know. All the rumors had my mind working overtime, but the truth makes so much more sense than any of those lies. Charles takes your hand, the pain look on his face making your heart clench. You're the first to stand by me like this, thank you. Since we're being honest with each other, there's one more thing I need to confess. I wasn't in the hallway looking for the ladies' room. Considering I saw you follow Mayor Wright and Sadie, I'm not surprised. What did you find out? They're having an affair. Disgusting. But I can't say I'm surprised. That's just the beginning. I overheard them talking about some plan that they had Valerie and how her death solved their problems. That sounds like motive. Right? It's so unfair that you're being treated like an outcast when Sadie and the mayor are practically gleeful that Valerie's gone. It's time to get the goods on Sadie. What, Faith? What are you even talking about? But you're already charging back into the hallway, giving Charles no choice but to hurry after you. This is Valerie's office. Maybe she left behind some clues beyond the grave. But as the two of you approach, you're surprised to see the door is already cracked open. Shh, someone's in there. You covertly peer inside to find a cheerful Sadie standing behind Valerie's desk holding up a glass of champagne. I'm sorry things had to end this way, Val. We were friends at one point, but you just couldn't leave well enough alone. She toasts her success with a sip of her champagne and then swipes a binder off of Valerie's desk and stuffs it into her bag. Thanks for the HOA minutes, darling. Wherever you are now, I hope you're wishing Vermillion Lane's next HOA president luck. That's all she wants to do is be the next president. I'm really not surprised by this. Her next, plan. she takes over where Valerie took over. We're probably going to end up competing against her and trying to beat her at her own game. Without further ado, thank you all for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe if you did enjoy. Leave a comment down below letting me know if you did as well and what your thoughts are and how well you thought the chapter was. Otherwise, the chapter was okay. That's about it. That's all I'll say. Got plenty of other work to do, and we're not feeling the best today, but I digress. Someone's got to do it, right? Have a good one. Love your beautiful faces. Peace out.